No. Hello, hello. All right. All right, all right, all right. เดี๋ยวรอเพื่อนๆจอยก่อนแล้วกันนะครับโอเค yeah อืมOkay, it's time for all of us to check the attendance, right? So everyone try to look at the, you know, 303ใช่ไหมครับ segment okay yeah to line group line group attendance check okay class number 8 here let's go เลยครับOkay, good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right. Okay. So I hope you guys coming into the Zoom already, right? Okay, 9 o'clock. So just make sure that you check the attendance into the line group. And then, yeah, so now we have to study for class number 8, just because we just run the schedule as the classes can be through the online session here, right? Again, right, just because for this course, I'm going to say that all of us have to study online, and what you need to once you're supposed to be on site, it's just only for a midterm exam and final exam, just because it is a requirement for the university. I can say, yeah. So basically for this class, I'm going to run a class for class number 8. Basically it's about like it deals with the test preparation for the TOEIC test. Basically I just want you to prepare for a reading comprehension, right? As well as do as a homework for listening comprehension too. Okay, good. All right, let's get started. Okay, just make sure that everyone here, if you're ready, ready, just type 1 for me, please, if you're ready, right? And I'll pin link. Oh my God. So I hope you for this week, I don't think that we're gonna have a presentation, right? So is that right? If no, yeah, I think there is no presentation for today class. Okay. So what you need to do is that I just prompt to the talk of I'm speaking here, right? For the first session, we are going to sharing the ideas. Maybe if you can finish early, I mean, if you can finish very, very fast, you have a time to, relax later. You can say, okay, let's get started for the first activity for today class. I'm going to say that this is for thinking skill, just because I do understand, I do believe that all of us have to improve our thinking skill, just because I don't think that language is just only for a language, right? But for me, I can say that if you can be able to process or even cultivate the way that you can think it doesn't mean that you think whatever you can think, but it might be justification or reasonable, right? Reason why that you think like that is very important too. Basically for the first part, it takes it talks about the way that you can practice your speaking, right? Practice your speaking. เดี๋ยวนะแป๊บหนึ่งทำไมมันเป็น7 class 8ถูกปะถูกแล้ว sorry for that. Again, right? I would say that this is a class number 8, but I would say that maybe it's same repetition for the previous week, right? Okay, that's okay. Again, right? You can talk about life. Okay. For this week, I'm going to say that what you need to do is that you have to think, which is different from what you think earlier. I can say, yeah. So the first aspect is that what do you think about life is journey, not a destination? And the second one is that what do you think about transformation? Can often look ordinary. It's a slow process. So, okay. Again, everyone check the attendance already, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I just want everyone to, fully participate in this kind of activity, just because I think that it doesn't mean that you can prepare for your TOEIC preparation here, but I would say that once you get an impressive score from your TOEIC test, I do understand that you are asked to perform your speaking skill, such a certain context. For example, like a job interview, right? I can say that the first aspect is that you have to talk about maybe what is going on with your life here. What kind of dimension that you can explain to other people when it comes to have difficulty or even the happiness is around, right? Things like that. I would suggest that you can talk about maybe pros and cons differences between the two, for example, like weaknesses or even achievement here, things like that. Okay. Second is that just because I do understand it's kind of a process, right? Transformation. Try to think about what you face in the reality. For example, like just because we have to deal with depend on the technology. I would say that you understand some kind of chatbot GPT, right? Or this is kind of like an innovation transformation that you have to accept and use it in the daily routine. I would say that if you can think about this is kind of way changing transformation, what do you see your future that can happen to be changed, or what kind of thing that you are going to change it for a better and better here, right? Again, right, you can choose one or two, but try to speak in a different dimension for today class. Okay. Yeah. As it usual, right? I have to give you for 5 minutes to prepare for this kind of thing first, and then if you're ready, just make sure that you turn on the microphone, and then let's get started for a speaking session here. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay. Okay. All right. Everyone ready? If you're ready, just turn on the microphone here.
Hello.
Yep.
I will choose A.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So what do you think about life journey and not a destination?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was true because like in our life we keep discovering new things and we don't have a reason to end it yet, so we just keep on going. Finding new things
Mm.
as long as it's still living. So yeah.
So you mean that, okay, can I ask for more clarification here? You mean that once we have a life, we have to explore new things from time to time. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
Why do you think that we should have to explore or such find new interesting things from our life? Yeah.
Because like the more we discover, the more we learn.
Uh-huh. You mean like if you discover something here, you can learn for some experiences to fulfill your life, right? What about like if you face some kind of bad experiences? I mean, just because if we have a life, I would say that it may happen to all of us that we can see from some positive experiences or even negative or bad experiences, right? If once you experience with a negative thing or even a bad experiences, how do you see yourself as a life journey here?
It's been negative things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's more like a learning process, to be honest.
Uh-huh. So it's about like we have to see the bad thing as a lesson learned, right? And then we have to learn from bad experiences and try to see positive side for what you have experienced and things like that,
Yes.
right? Okay, good.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your sharing here. Just type perfect. Okay, so here we have to see that everyone got perfect here. Perfect, perfect, perfect into the line group, please. Yeah, that's great. Anyone want to share? So for this week, I'm going to try to make clarification once you talk about that. If you want to say, just say something, right? Next, please. Okay, go ahead. มันมีคนเปิดไมค์เมื่อกี้มา okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I choose A.
Mm-hmm.
Life is truly a journey,
Yeah.
but living life well must have a destination in order to live life in the right way and have a purpose in the living life.
So you try to say that just because life can happen at the end, we can see that our happiness in our life. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right. So do you see again? Do you see that the happiness can happen all the time while living here? ไปแล้วใช่ไหมperfect เลยครับ all right just type perfect into the line group okay go ahead all right next please
Can I?
Yeah.
I choose B. I'm not sure that I understand this sentence correctly, but I think ordinary or slow transformation, maybe it's could depends on the context. For example, like some people in the like slow process may make them feel like they're not get what they want, but some people think that it should like change slowly for sustainability.
Wow, surprise the word sustainability. All right. So can you explain for more why do you think that sustainability or slow let's say slow process, slow transformation can maintain our life in a sustainable way? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that transformation is very like normal for everyone to experience, but I think we must be like patient or perseverance like take it slowly อะค่ะ for แบบว่า sustainable to change in the future
I see. Thank you so much for your clarification here. Just type perfect, right? I do believe that transformation takes time. And what we need to understand for transformation here is that if it happens to be a process, so what we need to see is that it can happen for positive consequences or even negative consequences, just because we have to see life as a two coins, right? Pros and cons. And what we have to understand or realize is that we can happen or experience a transformation in our life in both positive and negative. But the most important thing is that we can see that if we put a positive thing, right, and then see negative thing that can turn into a positive one, it might be very perfect, I can say. Yeah. Just type perfect into the line group. Yeah. Next, please. So everyone can share, right? Everyone is lonely sometime, right? Good, right?
Teacher, can I?
Yeah. Good.
I chose A. If
Yeah.
life is journey, not a destination. For me, I think life is journey is like we tend to focus more on what we are doing more than like the destination or the goal in life, and we can grab it to be like our experiences in living life, like something like that.
I see. Thank you so much for your sharing here. So you think that life has the dimension that we have to learn, right? And also
Yes.
that, yeah, so we have to I do understand that everyone can face or experience lots of things from time to time, right? Even when you were a student and when you are a student in the college study, I mean university here, right? So we have to have a fun with life as a journey here. Great. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Just type perfect into the line group. Next, please. I have Perfecto. Right. Right. Thank you so much for your sharing here. move ไหมฮะ move กด 1 กด 2 ดีกว่า I hope you guys enjoy learning and sharing the ideas. All right. Okay. So I have understood that all of us just sharing some kind of idea that can be contribute to life as a journey or the transformation process here. Moving to second slide here, I would say that what you need to do is that you need to think about the core concept of the TOEIC exam. I do understand that it is very important to say something here, but what I mean, what I just provide for all of you to think is that can you integrate critical and creative thinking while handling the TOEIC test or while preparing for the TOEIC test here, right? For the first question is that what can we do to integrate critical and creative thinking? Second, how does critical thinking help you to analyze and comprehend the question effectively, or it can empower, right, you to generate original, right, and compelling responses in each question or not, especially reading comprehension. The core focus is that you have to understand the reading comprehension, right, and any skill that you have to process or even have to have thinking skill in order to make sure that you can reach the reading comprehension in such an extended level here. And then how does complementing between the two lead to enhanced performance and ultimately enable test taker to stand out from getting an impressive score? What I'm saying here is that any evidence that can support. The first one is that reading comprehension, and second one is that a critical or creative thinking here. Any clarification that you can put and share in this idea, just choose the question first, 1 or 2 or 3, and then just prepare yourself for 5 minutes. And once you're ready, you can turn on the microphone here. Is that okay? นะครับ thinking reading นะ All right, just prepare for 5 minutes, and if you're ready, just turn on the mic. Right. Okay. If someone ready, just turn on the microphone here, right? We are going to talk about thinking skill and reading comprehension.
Can I?
Yep.
I choose number 3. So I think complementing these two things can enhance the taste takers performance, and it help us to like ensure a deep understanding of the subject matter, like combined with other skills like time management or stress reduction. This may like leading to improve the score and stand out on the test.
I see. So do you think like when it comes to doing the reading test, especially for the TOEIC, right? Is that important to have you know, timing or even the time management skills?
Yeah, I think it's important because if we set the time, maybe it will like do best for reading test อะค่ะ ถ้าเรา practice with the set with the time อะค่ะ
I see your point here. Great. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Just type excellent, please. Excellent. Excellent ก็มานะฮะ excellent right exemption ดี excellent right excellent เขียนยังไงexcellent okay, just type excellent into the line. Great. Thank you so much friend. Okay, next please, you can share, you can talk, you can learn together, right? Okay, right? Okay, good. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying here, right? Maybe we can finish for this kind of activity. Moving to next one, I'm going to let you do volunteer, right? I just want two students here, A and B, man and woman, right? Anyone want to read out loud here? Along เล่นแบบนะครับใครอยาก read out loud บ้างนะฮะเปิดไมค์เลย Okay, if those of you just want to read it out loud, you can turn on your microphone here. All right, great. The main idea is the main requesting 2 to 4 copies, right, of a report for an inference. The woman is busy. sure that he or she can have already before it can. Great, thank you so much for your sharing here. I hope you guys understand what the meaning in context, right? And it's time for all of you. I would say that for listening section, I'm going to let you do as a homework, and we shall go for break. Break เลยเหรอ break ก่อนก็ได้ฮะ all right so all of us have to go for break, right, for 15 minutes, and then we can finish the second part for today. เดี๋ยวส่งลิงก์ไปให้ใน LINE แล้วกันนะครับเดี๋ยวเราไปเบรกกันแล้วกันแป๊บหนึ่ง เป็นอย่างไรบ้างใครอยู่บ้างครับใครอยู่ในกด xy มันเองเดี๋ยวเรารีบปิดดีกว่าดีไหมรีบเปลี่ยนเลยเผื่อว่าเราแบบอยากไปทำธุระนะฮะดีไหมalright shall we finish all of the thing for today class alright okay good so let's get start for two question type here alright so we can see from the first one right all of orders got something here on schedule okay so we can see that all the orders got here plus past participle ed right or a regular verb that is considered as a past participle so what we need here is that delivered is that right everyone type A for me please having A good. Second, we can see that despite working overtime every day for 2 weeks, he still what? Went through, back up, fell behind, and then start over. So here we have to see the context. Is that right? Just because despite it refers to the contradiction. I mean, the meaning is opposite from this one, right? Despite working overtime every day for 2 weeks, he still fell behind with his work just because we have to make sure that this is kind of phrasal verb or I can say idiomatic expression or even phrasal verb form or collocation, right? Went through, back up, or fell behind, or started over, right? So the answer we go for fell behind. Everyone type C for me, please. Next question number 3. Okay, so the population and rapid economic growth in recent years has put a lot and increasing stress on water resources and environment in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam country. I can say that for this one, we have to see the relationship, right? I mean, what order or what place here. When we see population as a noun, so the previous one, I mean the prior to, this is kind of noun, it must be a noun, an adjective here. But it seems to us that we have to see that which one could be present participle or past participle. Is that right? So we have to differentiation between the two. The first one is increased population or increasing population. I have to say that when it comes to C, ED or ING here, first thing that you have to translate is that if we put ED here, it seems to be, that now has to be done in a passive form. But if we put increasing here, right, increasing population here, it might go like the ongoing population is increasing from time to time. So we mentioned on people that is ongoing, right? So the answer will go for B here. Everyone type B for me, please. Next customer called 3 times this morning, set up a meeting, call up a meeting, take over a meeting, and then left behind. Call 3 times. Why they have to call 3 times? So you need to use thinking skill or reason bit, right? Set up, call up, or take over. Just put set up just because this one might be like a linguistic feature here that it is served for a meaning in context. So set up, it means provide or set aside here. Type A for me, please. Aเข้ามาเลยครับ Next, please. Okay, right. For question number 5, should we really speak out of breakdown of families when we are perhaps witnessing new family form and a new social structure like capitalism? Okay, great. So we can see that for this one, we have to understand and interpret the meaning in context a bit. Should we really speak out of breakdown families when we are perhaps witnessing new family form and a new social structure arising from? Is that right? So we see that a collocation must put preposition from arising from here. Let capitalism. See, next, it was decided to buying a new equipment until next year. Put off, fill out, take over, and begin if. Next year would be a key hint here, right? So what we need here is that the meaning on content, which is referred to postpone. So the answer we go for A. Everyone type A for me, please. Next, I can see that public opinion polls have consistently demonstrated the public trade-off economic growth for environmental protection. Willingness to, right? This one is kind of like you have to understand idiomatic expression. Willingness to would be the answer. So the rest is not put into that correct blank here. The answer will go for A, pim A. Next, the judge promised to any new evidence as soon as possible. Look out of, look into, look after, look for it too. Judge promised to look into. Look into it means reconsider, pitarana, right? Reconsider again and again. Look after, take care. Look for it to continue, or look forward to expect to say, and look out of it means throwing away. So the answer we go for look into. Everyone type B for me, please. Next, the technology developed in coal-rich Germany in 1920 involved party burning coal to turn it into a gas, right? Then using a catalyst, usually a metal liquid, so to making it, and then making. So we can see that involve party burning coal to turn it into gas. Then using catalyst, usually a metal. Then using catalyst, turn it. So here we can see that we got the pronoun it, right? Turn it into a gas. G, making, I don't think so. B boy, make it. Only it นะ เดี๋ยวขอเช็คก่อนแป๊บหนึ่ง แสดงว่ายาก again, right, involve partly burning coal to turn it into a gas. Then using a catalyst, usually a metal, to make it a liquid. No, making it ต้องเป็น C, all right? เพราะว่า just because we can see that using catalyst here, it seems that we have to make sure that it is turned to parallelism here. But we need to refer back to the pronoun references too. So the answer will go for C. Everyone type C for me, please. Next, visitors to United States are required to an immigration questionnaire. Bring about, think over, fill out, and then go through. Required to fill out. Is that right? C cat ครับผม ไม่ยาก Bring about, it means take place, right? Think over. It means what is that? Think again and again, right? And go through, it means experience something here. Next, the economy is on industry, and economic growth has always been of a greater concern than environmental preservation. Heavily dependent would be the correct answer, right? B-boy, is that right? Just because we need to understand word order. I can see that is a linking verb, so you need to put an adjective here. But what can be described? An adjective would be like heavily, an adverb, right? Adverb plus an adjective here go hand in hand. That's it. Next, please, the planned merger between the companies because they could not agree on the price. Yeah. Took over, feel through, back out of, and been through. The planned merger between the companies take over. No, I don't think so. Back out of, take over เหรอครับ take over คือเข้าร่วมกิจการใช่ไหมครับ because they could not agree. No, I don't think so. Just because the context is contradict to each other. Back out of, been through. Been through it means suffer. Suffer แล้วกันต้องเป็นดีครับผมตอบดีนะครับ Next, please. Okay, the largest project here to be our most ambitious is considering, is consider, has been considered. Is consider, is consider, I can say. Yeah, just because I put into passive form. B-boy, yep, B-boy. Next, please. Our company has fund to collect money for elderly people, retirement, provident, consecutive, and permittable. Provident fund or retirement. เราต้องการ adjective, right? We need an adjective now. Provident fund would be the correct answer. ตอบ B-boy ครับ Just because if you put retirement, meaning that you put now plus now, but what we need here is that we just want adjective plus now. Is that right? So you can differentiate between the two again here. Yeah. Next, please. Okay. So the use of when making purchases is convenient, but should be used carefully. Catching credit, monetary expenditure. The use of credit. Is that right? Credit. So the correct one is that B by her. By her. So the rest is not fit in that context, right? Just because you can see that caching, it doesn't meet the criteria of the convenience here or monetary of expenditure. It might be a little bit abstract instead of using something here. Next, we hope there will not be an economy over the next few months downturn, dumpling, or withdrawal. Downturn. So the correct answer would be downturn. ตอบ B นะ Okay. So for this question, you have to understand word choices. Just because downside meaning that you make it smaller. Downturn, it means reverse or back into the opposite way. Dumpling would be like a fluctuation. Basically, it would be like that. And then withdrawal here, it means that you reject something from what it used to be. That's it. Next. The recent bad weather has had on the profits of many travel companies, consequent impact corrosion and malevolence. Recent weather. Impact, is that right? Just because we got an article here, so it might be easy for us to to pick the right correct answer here. B-boy here. B-boy. Next, directors want more people to receive our goods, so it's planning to improve our caring service, credit, manipulative, engaging, caring ครับผม A นะ Okay. 19/20 Mr. Green felt there was an immediate need to start a new project. Intermittent, require, assistant. I can say that D dot here would be the correct answer. ต้องเป็น D นะ Next, please. This is not a convenient location for our employees. Facilitation. อันนี้พิมพ์ผิด Accommodation, reconciliation, prevalent. Convenient. Accommodation ครับผม B-boy. ต่อนะ Simon ครับ Simon has made several that the director has agreed with. Advisory, recommendation, obligation, and assumption. That directors has agreed with. Recommendation. B-boy ครับ Next, please. Speaking several languages is an beneficial when working in the travel industry. advantage, compulsory, obligatory. So we can see an article here, right? So the answer will go for B boy, maybe boy yet down. B ครับ B เลย next please อันนี้ยากเดี๋ยวเราไปทำเองแล้วกันนะครับฝากเป็นการบ้านนะ homework แล้วกันนะครับได้ไหม homework พิมพ์ homework ครับผมเดี๋ยวขอดูก่อนแต่ว่าก็ยากแอบถ้าทำได้นี่คือปังนะครับโอเคนะฮะ reading นิดนึงก่อนไปเพราะว่าเราต้องสอบ final นะครับ All right, so for reading comprehension, I have to say that it is very important for all of us to understand the aspect of reading comprehension and some kind of like individualized technique or effective strategy for reading comprehension. I do understand that to me, I can say that reading comprehension is a little bit challenging when it comes to have a timing test in the TOEIC exam, right? So first of all, what you need to do is that you have to look at for 3 options here and then try which one would be your own strategy. The first one is that preview text. I can say that it's all about like skimming and scanning, right? Viewing a film or trailer before watching the movie give you a context that lets you know what to expect. I do understand that just because if you want to get the understanding from something here, you have to skimming. You have to realize that what they are, important aspect of that. Likewise, previewing a text before reading it prepare you to quickly gain an understanding of what you're reading about. Meaning that I can say, just because previewing is just kind of like a basic thing that you need to understand from the reading text, right? So I would suggest that you can use the strategy of skimming and scanning, and then put into practice later. Second, to preview a text, scanning from the beginning of the end, paying special attention to headings, subheadings, anything bold, underlined, font, and bullet point here. I would say for this one, it's kind of like if you can skim, right, the whole context from the reading text, I would suggest that you have to see such as a bold or some kind of like important main point in that reading or article, right? So it might very important for all of you to get into it. The third one is that to get a big picture of understanding, just skim the introduction and concluding paragraph. This is might be if you have a long, if you have a short time, right, to finish it, but the core, the passage is very long. So what you need to do is that you have to see from the first paragraph, introduction, and then the last paragraph, concluding sentence, just because it may help you, find the right answer to the right blank here. Try to identify transition sentences, examine any images and graph, figure out how the audio structure of the text here, right? So this one would be like the step-by-step for reading comprehension here. Is that clear? Clear พิมพ์ clear ครับผมเดี๋ยวเราไปทวนนะเพิ่ง10 โมงเองนะปิดละNext, okay. Second thing is that strategically approaching to the text will make a big difference in how efficiently you can digest the material. First, think about your goal, right? And what do you want to learn by reading that material? You have to jot down or even like summarize some questions you want to be able to answer by the end, meaning that you have to try to use your own technique in order to jot down, right? Just because it is very important for reading comprehension. And then you need to determine the other goals in writing of material based on your preview. And I would say that other goals here, for example, might be to describe the entire history. For example, like if you are reading some kind of ancient Rome, I just give some example in a different context. But for you, for business context in the TOEIC test, it's not likely to be hard, I can say. So what you need to do is just like be used to and be familiar with this kind of text here. And why you go is simply to answer the question about women's role in politics. If you go is more limited in scope, then the others plan to only find read and pertinent sections here. Yep. So for this slide, it seems that you need to try to list the bullet point from 1, 2, or 3, and then see that how relevant it is from this kind of strategy. Yeah. Again, right? Just because reading strategy is very important for you to prepare for the final exam, right? Reading quickly with good comprehension requires focus and concentration. So the keyword is that focus and concentration. What you need to do is that minimize external noise and distraction and interruption. Be mindful with your thought wonder as you read. And if you notice that you are fantasticizing about your next meal rather than focusing on the text, meaning that you have to focus on the text and then try to use your thinking skill in order to make sure that you can focus and concentrate in that content that you're reading for. Yeah. So very important is that you have to pay attention or be focused, concentration, what you are reading. Yeah. Many readers read a few sentences passively without focus and then spend time going back and rereading to make sure that you understand them. This might be like a counter, and I mean the opposite way to do so. Just because when you are running out of time, right? I would suggest that if you pay focus or pay attention to what you're reading there, it may have like a meaningful understanding and to make it progress from time to time. So I would say that it is possible that you have to pay attention and pay focus instead of reread again and again. It might not be useful tip for us to do so. Yeah. According to the other blah blah blah, right? Tim Ferriss habit called regression. Regression meaning that I try to read again and again, right? Will significantly slow you down and make it harder to get a big picture view of the text. If you carefully and attentively approach the text, so you quickly realize that you are not understanding the section and saving your time in the long run. I would say that it is very important to pay attention first, just because you don't have to read, untie the passage, but you have to get the main point and understand what they are talking about. That's it. Great. Again, right? More and more, because lots of strategy, and I'm going to say that the strategy for reading here can be put into practice later. To increase your reading speed, right? Just because when it comes to taking the TOEIC exam, especially for reading section, reading part, right? Part 7 here, I can say that you need to timing your pace or your speed reading, so you can practice speed reading, right? If you are considered yourself as a slow reader. So to increase your speed reading here, you have to pay attention to your eye, meaning that you can get skimming and scanning at the same time. And people can scan in let's say like from paragraph to a paragraph, which depending on the font size and type text. Basically, for TOEIC test, it seems that it common found in the magazine or business article, right? So what you need to understand is that you have to make sure that you are going to get something here, right? Usually comprise 3 to 5 words each. Right? So basically, it's just about like you can timing yourself in order to make sure that you got. I can say that you got what you really need to read. That's it. And rather than reading each word individually, move your eyes, right, in a scanning motion. So let's say like we have to put skimming and scanning again. I have to say that the differentiation between the two, skimming and scanning, right? Skimming is that you just look at for a title, headline, and then the information required, all right? But scanning is that you have to see the connection between first paragraph and second paragraph and the third paragraph and try to see that how they can arrange to each other, okay? And take advantage for your peripheral vision to speed up around the beginning and the end of each line. Focus on the block of word. For example, like you have to see a sentence, a phrase, or a series of words instead of just focus on word by word. You understand that? So meaning that we have to practice reading lots of things here. Yep. Moving to next is that pointing your finger or pen. Sometimes you can be allowed to use your pen in the test room, but for a TOEIC test, I don't think so because you are not allowed to do so. What you need to do is that you have to focus and then pay attention what you're reading and then try to make your own understanding and put the right answer to the right blank here. That's it, all right? Okay. Subvocalization or silently pronouncing each word in your head as you read. It is very important too, just because it seems to you that you can use metacognitive or thinking skill to understand or recall, remember what you are going to read there. That's it for this today class. Is that right? It's a lot actually, so you can review again and again, right? Okay, maybe we can finish ทีนี้ให้เราฝึกทำโจทย์หน้านี้ครับเดี๋ยวครับมาเล่าต่อมีอยู่2หน้านะ so we can see from the first one is that email 1 and then email 2 and then you have to finish for 5 questions. I'm going to give you for 10 minutes to finish this and then if you can answer we can share the answer together เดี๋ยวลองไล่ทำนะครับ5 นาทีพอลองดูที่5 นาทีก่อนนะครับข้อละ1 นาทีแต่ถ้าไม่ทันเดี๋ยวค่อยมาเฉลยที่10 นาทีนะโอเคไหมฮะโอเคพิมพ์โอเค Okay เป็นไงบ้างครับ Right. So this is a sample test for reading comprehension, right? I can say that the first part that you have to do with this kind of test is that you have to look at or skimming, right? Skimming, scanning from the head title here first, just because it is very important to understand this oral context. I can say that just because this is an email, right? To Bob Patterson from Kate below, blah blah blah, subject health club membership here. And after that, you have to phrase a sentence or a paragraph in just only one paragraph. First, I've just returned from a company training assignment in Denver. Prior to leaving April 15, I asked Julie to put a two-man phrase on my club membership. So the first sentence, it seems that they are asked for some help. Is that right? She told me that she would take care of it that day. Imagine my surprised me when I came into the club earlier today to discover that Julie had been replaced and her assignment Karen informed me that my membership has expired. So the situation happened just because the membership here has expired, right? She told me that a fresh installment of 150 required before I can use the facilities again. So once you understand for the first paragraph, you can move to the second paragraph here. I have explained that the situation of Karen, who is most sympathetic, and she cannot find anything in the files regarding my request. Could you please clarify the situation with Karen and have my membership reinstated as quickly as possible? Thank you for your quick attention to this matter. So we can see that from the first paragraph, it talks about they are asking for help, for some help, right? Second is that they try to, to say or to tell someone that it must be doing something for an action going here, right? This one. Moving to second, right? Just because we have to read for double, right? Email and reply. For example, here, Bob just reply to his email again. Please accept my apologies for the mix-up. I appreciate your understanding for current refusal to allow you to use the club without valid membership. Okay, I'll try to give you an overall picture of reading comprehension here, just because you have to understand for the first part of reading, right? If you pay attention or focus on reading here, you can be able to, to choose the correct answer from the possible questions easily, I can say. Yeah, so what we need to see is that we have to spend time a bit on reading and then keep the detailed information from time to time. She is still a trainee and is required to follow the rules unless an exception is authorized by the senior staff member. I have now reinstated your membership within 60 bonus day. That's it. We have made a few changes since you were last in. We are now offering kickboxing 3 nights a week, beginning at 7 p.m. for 2 hours. There is no extra change to our existing clients. That's it. Drop by the office to the next time you're on. And I have a lot of to catch up on, blah, blah, blah. So we can see like for the first paragraph is try to solve the solution, solve the possible solution on the problem happen here. And the second is they try to offer some compensation in order to make sure that it might, cooperate to each other here, right? So moving to the first question here. What is the main purpose of Mr. Bello email? Cancel, praise, make, or give information? Just because they try to ask for some help, right? So the answer will go for C. Everyone type C for me, please. ใครทำแล้วพิมพ์ C เลยครับ Second, why did Kate ask for 2 months whole membership? So we can see like the possible answer might be a little bit tricky just because you have to be careful, right? On word choices here. He has an injury for playing sport now. He could not pay his membership fee. He is away on business annual, right? He was vacational summer. So the reason is that what vacations, right? You have to see the word that can be found in the text. So would be the answer. It's just like try to find out the right answer to the right correct answer here. But I have to say that you have to build your own understanding first, and then you can do for reading comprehension perfectly. Yeah. So the answer for the second question is that D dot here. Everyone, please type D for me, please. So we can finish for 5 item and question, and we can go for vocabulary and try to make the last activity together, right? Why is Julie unable to escape? So we can see like a person, right? In this story can have like 1, 2, and third person too. So what you need to see the correlation, I mean a connection, right? Relationship between third person or second person or third person here. She does not know the situation. She's no longer work at the gym. She does not have enough time, or she's just a trainee at the gym. Just because she doesn't have any authority in that gym. So the answer will go for D. Is that right? Him D. If you understood what I'm saying here, I mean, like if you read beforehand, you can see that how relevant it is, right? And you can put the right correct answer. Just because I do understand for reading comprehension, reading for TOEIC, it is very demanding and challenging for some of you. So if you can put some kind of strategy, you have to be focused, pay attention, and try to read comprehensively, I would say that it might be better for you. Yeah. So what is Bob respond to Kate email? Sorry, gave Kate 2 months free membership via fitness club. Receptionist resigned from his position at the gym and invited Kate out to the land of apology. 2 month free membership, is that right? I would say A. And the last one is what is probably Bob position manager. Just because they can decide everything here. พิมพ์ครับผมพอได้นะเคลียร์ไหมฮะเคลียร์พิมพ์คำว่า clear นะฮะหรือว่า crystal clear ก็ได้ลองพิมพ์เข้ามานะครับ Okay, again, right, what you need to do for reading test is that, first of all, okay, try to wrap up here. You have to use skimming scanning, and you have to freeze in each paragraph to see the main idea, and you have to look at the possible questions here. I would suggest that you can do comprehension based on your understanding first by focusing or paying attention to that paragraph, and then you can go easily for the possible questions here. In other words, it might be happen to some of you that you can look at the possible question first and then reread again and again. But to me, I would suggest that I think reading before seeing the question might be effective for me. But for you, it depends, right? So you can use your own idea here, right? Enough for today's class, so we are now to vocabulary, right? I'm going to give you for 10 minutes to finish here. Once you finish, just type done 3 times, okay? Maintenance, mandatory, managerial, manufacture, mechanic, merchandise, merge, misrepresent, mortgage, motivation. Nominate, notification, objection, objective, obligation, obviously, operation, opportunity, optimistic, and then occupation. Participation, particularly, pretended, personalized, performance, permission, permanent, and pessimistic, pleasant or persuade. Again, right? Try to find possible synonymous words. I would suggest that you have to remind again, just because in each word, it it shows the different part of speech, right? For example, an adjective, try to find the same part of speech. It would be benefit to all of you to understand this kind of series of, the same word or, similar word here. Okay. All right. Try to finish it by 50. It would be great. Okay, good. It seems that some of you are ready, right? Ready to go, right? So the last section for today's class is that before we go, verb and adverb collocation here. Direction. Choose one of three following verb and verb here, right? And then create a meaningful sentence here. Place gently. Place it gently. For example, whisper softly. Whisper, right? Whisper softly, and then you have to create a meaningful sentence here and read it out loud, right? Spell it, right? And then vocally remember, right? If you're ready, just turn on the microphone here. Blah blah. จะได้ปิดจ็อบแล้ววันนี้มาฮะ ครับ Go ahead.
I choose vaguely remember. So the
Yeah.
sentence is, she vaguely remembers the old house that she used to live in as she was a child.
Great. Thank you so much for your sharing here. See you next week. Bye bye. Next.
Can I?
Mm-hmm.
I show the second one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When his kiss ended, to whisper sorry only inches from his lips.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you so much for your sharing here. See you next week. Bye. Next.
Can I?
Yep.
So I choose number 3. Remember my sentence is, I vaguely remember things I forgot.
Mm-hmm. See. Great. Thank you so much for your sharing here. See you next week. Next.
Can I?
Mm-hmm.
I vaguely remember having met her before.
I see. Thank you so much for your sharing here. See you next week. Next.
You have to pay the wait entry.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you so much for your sharing. Next. Next, please. ไม่มีแล้วนะครับมียังปิดจ็อบนะฮะ Bye bye. See you next week. End ไปเลย